Welcome to week 11 of the Clio Cup SoF League. We are at Tsukuba. We have 70 drivers, which means 4 splits. All of them will be broadcasted. And usually we talk a little bit about the current championship standings and a little bit of the history of the track in the Clio with who won and who were in the top 3 the last time. This time we focus on one thing only, even though I might show everything I just mentioned as B-roll footage. But let's focus on the championship battle. It is pretty simple. Dylan da Costa needs to win. If he does not win, he is out of contention. But even if he wins, as long as Miguel Freitas lands on P2, it doesn't matter because Freitas is champion then. Dylan needs a P1 and Freitas has to land on P3 or worse to keep the championship dream alive. It's pretty simple. So let's not waste any more time. Let's see how qualifying went. We take a look at the starting grid and maybe, just maybe, we know a bit more about the championship battle and maybe if we have a almost decision or not. I'm curious to see how qualifying went. So let's take a look. Okay, we now know our grid, and if we would end up like this, then we would have a championship finale next week. But the race has not even begun. The lights are red, we are green, and we are racing week 11 here in Tsukuba. Good start from Dylan da Costa and Muhammad El Hariri. Down to turn 1 for the first time. Freitas onto the outside. Like I said, he only needs a P2. Nothing more. P2 would be more than enough. And did I see Clement Gaudet without a front bumper already? No, okay. All good. I just thought I saw a front bumper missing. But I believe there was already an incident because he lost a lot of positions. And another crash. This is Isaac Mitchell. And who is this? Oh, so many cars here. This is tight down to the hairpin. Lazar Smith only in P10, unusual. This is Carlos Rivera in front of him, the car I was not familiar with. But so far we have survived the probably 14-ish laps. And this was lap 1. Gibret and Rivera side by side for P8, that is. So yeah, we have 2 stories in this race. The big one is of course the championship battle, but the other big story drives in P17, and that is Bruno Canero. Why do I mention a driver in P17? Simply put, he is the second driver in the history of the SoF that has driven in all splits within one singular season. He started in Oschersleben in Split 4 and worked his way through Split 3, Split 2, and now he is in Split 1, ladies and gentlemen. Second, little bit of touching there. So yeah, the second driver who achieved that all time. Of course, in the time when we only had 2 splits, it happened a bit more often, but it's much easier in 2 splits. In the 3 or more split era, he is the second driver to have done it within a singular season. The other one was me. But for last season we only had 3 splits, no split 4, so Bruno went the extra mile, and that is so cool to see progress within the driver. And now he's in P16, he's right there. Oh, that was not good! Gibrat! We were driving and suddenly we heard a big bang and... Oh, it gets worse. This is Canero, no! Speaking of him, Bruno! I'm sad now. But hey, I know the feeling. But man. His race is basically over. He's in last. Clement. Good friend of mine by now. Only P17. Man. But okay, we have to be neutral. And the neutral thing says, if we take a look at the standings, Freitag is in P2. This is enough for the championship. And the Oakley against Tomasz Rajzic, who goes wide in turn 1. Tomasz had a very good season opener. Remember in Oschersleben when he went in the top 3 here in Top Split? So, not as far high up as we saw him earlier this season, but still he's back. Glad to see him. Rivera and Mitchell. Ooh, the dive bomb almost... I mean, it worked, but I wanted to say it almost killed Isaac Mitchell. He's still there. He is in P8. Side by side into the long right-hand here at the end of the lap. And Fright. No, it was a blink. A blink, because I was like, wait, Dylan was half a second in front and now Freitag is leading. Nope. But like I said, the smart thing for Freitag to do is to stay in P2. Stay in P2, relax, don't let anyone pass, and celebrate the Clio SoF Championship afterwards. Lazark Smith behind Isaac Mitchell. Yeah, we see his front bumper has seen things. No big surprise. Tsukuba, small track, tight track, close battles. We already saw quite a bit of it. The incident between Cedric and Tomas, and then the aftermath with Bruno Canero. Oh, sliding and showing the lights, James Lazark that is. Lazark Smith, I'm sorry. And he's now to the inside. This is the advantage. But Isaac Mitchell is fighting. He's not giving up easily. And now he has a little bit of an advantage. Philipp Beckevold. I'm not familiar with that name. Maybe he's driven in the past. I have my laptop not with me to cheat on ClioSoF.com. Go check it out. Link in the description. But this season we have not seen him at least. Maybe he drove in the past in the Clio. We can check that out. Or you can check that out later on the website. Kevin Anfield, he is behind Riley Pogue. This is for P10. Yeah, but now the field has separated quite a bit. We have a big gap between a tight pack between P8 and 13. Excuse me, it is getting late for me. Lazark Smith, he wants to get past Isaac Mitchell, but Isaac so far is doing a great job defending. And James... Yeah, what I want to say is qualifying is so important here in Tsukuba. It's a small track, the field is tightly together, it's difficult to overtake, so qualifying is so important here. Kevin Anfield, he is still behind Riley, and behind him is Philip Beckevold. Sounds Norwegian. And James likes to flash his lights tonight. And again, is this some tactic, or is he mad, or I don't know. Either way, we have seen them a lot. Halfway point, 7 minutes and 30 seconds exactly. And he's still fighting. And we once again take a look at the standings. And now Kevin, everyone, this is blinking city here. Or flashing light city, I should rather say. Guys, relax. As we see flashing lights. Thank you, camera. We are focusing on the championship battle. Not only the race battle, but the championship battle. Dylan da Costa, he does what he has to do, but it won't be enough if we end like this. Because I talked about it last week. If Miguel gets P3 or worse in the final 2 races and Dylan wins both, he would win the championship by 1 singular point. It is an extreme slim margin, especially with Freitasch chasing him. Because I said, hey, relax in P2. Just stay where you are and celebrate. But I know for a fact, getting a championship by winning the race that decides the championship feels even better. But so far, Muhammad is 1.2 seconds behind him, so there is no threat at all. So we get back to this big pack from 8 to 12 from Lazok Smith. Wait a second! We focused on the championship on these two. What happened to Isaac Mitchell? What happened to him? I was like, Lazok Smith, and then I was looking at the standings. I was, what have we missed? I will write that down for the notes. My pencil is giving up. Luckily I have a second one here. Isaac, question mark. We have seen Cedric and Tomasz, Bruno. Always writing down. Freitasch, he shows his nose. But is this enough to make a guy like Dylan da Costa get nervous? I'm not sure. John Cook in P12 behind Philip Beckevold. And Kevin Anfield in front there. Riley Pogue, James Lazok Smith. We have not talked a lot about the guys between P8 and P2. Muhammad, yeah, we talked a bit about him. He's in P3. Gilberto Struck in P4. David Ward, good in P5. Josip Barilla, if I remember correctly, he was in P3 last season here in Tsukuba. Last season we saw a lot of Josip. This season not a lot, but glad he shows himself again in the Clio SoF. Always nice to see familiar names return and hopefully stay. And Carlos Rivera in P7 is the final one of the drivers we have not talked a lot about in this race. And then this big pack from James down to John. Then Andy Oakley, Isaac Mitchell, Tomasz, Clement, Cedric and Bruno Canero in last. It's a shame to debut in top split like this. But Bruno, don't worry. Your progress was insane this season. You'll get the hang there. I'm sure about it. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left. And Miguel Freitasch is still chasing Dylan da Costa. And even though they are fighting, Muhammad and the rest don't really get any closer. Still 1.1, 1.2 seconds, it stays similar, but Freiter, she gets antsy. Gets a bit antsy, I believe. He wants to get past Dylan da Costa and show why he will be the champion after this race. And that's the bottom line, because Miguel said so. Either way, we also have a battle for P3. This is Muhammad El Hariri and Gilberto Struck. They have a bit of a gap to David Ward and the rest of the pack. 2 minutes 22. I'm looking a bit through the field to see if I spot anything interesting that we have not talked about. Ooh. Kids, look away! This is how our cars are made. If you know what I mean. Maybe. I was never near when a car was being made. Oh, come on! Okay, now we are getting in raunchy territory here. Second time. Gilberto. Not in front of the kids. But he wants P3. And if I have to drive through Muhammad, literally. But so far Muhammad stays in P3. 2 more laps. 2 more laps. And like I said, Dylan does what he has to do. But so does Miguel. And thus the advantage is Miguel, because the advantage says championship decision. And again, Gilberto into the keister of Muhammad El Hariri. Man. Looking at the pack with James, Riley, Kevin, it seems pretty stable at the moment. Turn 9 about to happen for the second to last time. I'm not sure if Dylan will give up this win. It feels as Miguel is ever so slightly faster. Ever so slightly. But like I said, overtaking is difficult here. Real difficult. So being a bit faster is probably not enough. You need a mistake. And I don't think that this is gonna happen, but it doesn't matter. It matters for the singular race. Of course, it will matter for this. But for the championship, it does not matter. Miguel Freitas is about to be crowned Clio SoF champion for season 3 of 2025. He tried. He tried it once, so okay. Maybe. Nope. And this is a clear sign of, okay, congratulations, this left, right. Congratulations to Dylan da Costa, but also congratulations, there they are, to our new champion, Miguel Freitas. Well done, you two. Muhammad P3, Gilberto, David, Josip. Now they're all getting over the line. This big pack. 13, 14, 15, 16. Now we wait for Cedric Gebrat, who had another incident, I believe, and Bruno Canero. Like I said, rough debut in the top split, but Bruno, hear it from the guy that went through all splits in the singular season and myself. I know how it feels, but don't get demotivated. Your progress is insane. You will be here more often, I believe. I strongly believe. But this was the race from Da Costa to Enfield and from Beckevold to Canero. Solid SoF, the season debut at least from Beckevold. Like I said, I don't have my cheat laptop next to me to look if it was indeed the very first race. I hear a crash. We don't care about those, but now in the moment, I congratulate Dylan da Costa and Miguel Freitas, and let's meet at the standings. And there we have it, the standings, the overall standings, provided by challenge.duncanwoods.com, link in the description. Yes, we also have the result or the championship standings, the overall standings on ClioSoF.com, but I like to use those because they show the singular results everyone got, which makes it a bit easier to talk about it. So Miguel Freitas, he is the championship winner. No ifs and buts, he is it. It is impossible to beat him for that, so congratulations, a new champion in the world of the Clio. Dylan da Costa, Muhammad El Hariri, James Lazark Smith, Kevin Anfield. It is not changing much. We see a lot of drop rounds happening here for the top 6. 4, 5 and 6 all have drop rounds here, so nothing changed for them, and the gap between 6th and 7th is simply too big. But we don't talk about P7 because we have a split 2 race tomorrow. Isaac Mitchell, unlucky, he is in P9, Gilberto in 11. Who else did we see? Bruno Canero and Clement we saw in the race we just saw. Dommage 4th race this season. Like I said, good start in Oschersleben, and now not some aber oh, I turned to German speaking for a moment, but glad to have him, even though it was not the luckiest race he ever had. Andy Oakley in 32nd. Do we have anyone else? I don't. Riley Poke. Riley, second time in an SoF. Second time he gathered P12. And if we take a look at the split 1 standings, like I said, here we have them on ClioSoF.com, but you see it is a bit nicer to use this to talk about individual races and predictions and stuff, so which is why I use those. No big shocks here, like I said. I always say now we're in split 1 and you see the top 6 are the same, and then the split 2 guys somewhat get involved into it. So how many drivers did we have in the top split this season? It's always an interesting fact. 50, 60, 68. Do we get 70 by the end of the season, which is after next week? So 2 more drivers, make it 70. We will see. But now we leave split 1 as it is. We congratulate Dylan da Costa to another win. We congratulate Miguel Freitas to a championship. And now let's leave it with some highlights of the race, and then I hope to see you again tomorrow for split 2. Goodbye.